Welcome to the Ace Your Tinnitus Success Story series. I'm Dr. Bruce Hubbard. In this video, Stacy shares her story of achieving full tinnitus habituation using my Ace Your Tinnitus program. Her tinnitus hasn't changed, but Stacy progressed from stage 1, in which she was traumatized by tinnitus, to stage 4, where she rarely hears it, and when she does hear it, she no longer cares. It's significant that Stacy used my program to achieve full habituation, despite having what would be considered severe tinnitus. She hears multiple tinnitus sounds that fluctuate in volume and pitch. Stacy also has high-frequency hearing loss, which is typical for people with tinnitus, but she's never needed hearing aids or maskers. She achieved full habituation by learning and applying a few simple psychological strategies. Let's hear Stacy's story. Okay, Stacy, good to see you. Thank you so much for agreeing to this interview to share with others how successful you've been in achieving a high level of habituation to your variable tinnitus. So welcome.
Thank you. My pleasure.
And just, I think it's helpful for people to know that you're an accountant and you work from home. So you spend the better part of your workday at a computer in front of a spreadsheet concentrating. And there's nobody around to distract you, to talk to break up that focus at all. So it's just doubly, I think, impressive that you're able to do that with your tinnitus and not be bothered. So if you could start by just telling people a little bit about what your tinnitus is like.
So, as you said, my tinnitus is variable and it's also unilateral. It's in my left ear only. It's a hissing or like the cricket sound. It can change. It can go a higher frequency to a lower frequency. When it first started, I kind of felt a lot of sensations in my head, which I also think could just be like the stress reaction to it at the time. But again, it's kind of leveled out over this time, but it's a variable low, like hissing sound.
And what was your distress level like when your tinnitus first started?
Oh gosh, I hated it. I had so much anxiety around it, and it was in such a state of despair. It sounded so loud, so intrusive. I didn't think I'd be able to live my normal life with this sound constantly in my head. I couldn't sleep. I couldn't concentrate. It was just awful. I dreaded going to sleep at night. That when everything was just so still and quiet, I just felt that it was torture. Like, here I go. Like, I had to prepare myself.
We use, as you know, Dr. Hallam's stages of recovery from tinnitus distress, with stage 1 being the crisis and 2 being getting a grip, 3 moving on, and 4 couldn't care less. Where would you say you were at that point?
Oh, negative level 1, negative stage 1.
Okay.
It was bad.
Minus stage 1.
Yeah.
As most people who get to this program have considered or have gone through a course of sound therapy with an audiologist. Did you skip that?
My audiologist did not push the sound therapy. They never really talked about maskers. I was using ear level sound headphones to mask it. I did not want to hear it, which is also just bizarre because I'm masking it and it sounds just like it, but I was okay with that, but not okay with hearing it by itself. It made no sense to me. So, after that and going through your course and the sound therapy, I got like a little speaker that does sound therapy. I don't like having my phone near me at night in the bedroom. So I had my little speaker that played different sounds. And because mine is hissing and crickets, pink noise and brown noise kind of helps blend it. And I kind of tuned it down, tuned it down, tuned it down. And when I went to phase it out, I felt great. And then my husband's like, I really like that. That helped me fall asleep. I'm like, too bad. I'm done with it. I was grateful that she steered me in the right direction of trying to find a CBT therapist at that time, which was not lucky until I found you.
And I'm glad you did.
Me too.
Had you tried anything else before or in addition to my program?
The only other thing I did was acupuncture, which I've used acupuncture throughout my life for various ailments and things, and it helped with my anxiety about it. Obviously, it can't do anything for the tinnitus itself, but it definitely helped with my anxiety level.
Good, good. You mentioned you have high frequency hearing loss. Did anyone recommend hearing aids for you along the way?
No, they did not recommend at that time. There was really nothing that I missed out on in the test, so to speak, that indicated that I needed hearing aids at the time.
So that's important too, because many audiologists, just on seeing any high frequency hearing loss at all, would strongly encourage a person to purchase hearing aids and wear them throughout the day, every day. And there's really no evidence to support that that's necessary with tinnitus. And here you are, you've gone on and achieved full habituation without hearing aids. So there are just many, many, many stories like that. So how long were you in the program before things started to improve?
I would say immediately with my first session with you, which is part of the program, right? The one-on-one sessions. And I had my one-on-one with you a week after watching your webinar.
The 2017 webinar, which is posted on YouTube, Cognitive Behavior Therapy for Tinnitus Distress. It's a message of hope. We don't need to spend thousands of dollars on devices and change our diets and reduce our stress and so forth in order to learn how to live effective, full, valued lives with tinnitus.
Yes, yes.
So you found that online.
I cried the whole time watching the webinar the first time because everything resonated. It was just like a switch was flipped. I felt a calmness come over me, and I knew I had to get in touch with you. I had to get these tools.
How did you notice that things were improving?
I noticed that my reaction wasn't triggering me any longer. It was, I no longer, I mean, don't get me wrong, there were still some highs and lows, but I was catching myself on my trigger response that threw me into the distress. I was learning to accept it.
To achieve success with her tinnitus, Stacy completed Ace Your Tinnitus, my online program, which includes a self-paced course, one-on-one sessions and email support with me, and weekly group coaching sessions. The program is based on state-of-the-science cognitive behavior therapy and is designed by me, a board-certified cognitive behavioral psychologist who has tinnitus. To learn more, go to cbtfortinnitus.com. And what would you say you learned in the course that helped? What are your main takeaways?
Well, the first step was the recovery statement that really helped put things in perspective, that this wasn't harmful, that I could still live my life like I was with proper hearing protection when needed. The articles, the videos, the whole course is very well done. But in the start, the worksheets, because it made you go internally to reflect on what my reaction was to it. So the acceptance versus change and the goals worksheet was so helpful to me. It helped me get out of my head, or as you say, get out of my ears and get my thoughts on my tinnitus on paper. And for me, that's always helpful to, when I say things out loud, it makes it real. When I write it down, it makes it real. So getting it onto paper really helped me move quickly from stage 1 to stage 2. It just helped me cope better with my emotional reaction to the tinnitus. So the mindfulness practice was extremely helpful for me in catching my negative thoughts and reactions to the tinnitus and shifting my attention to more positive thoughts and images, knowing that it was okay to hear my tinnitus as well as listen to it, not just hear it, but listen to it. Writing the recovery statement was very emotional, but very helpful. I kept it in my pocket, just like you said. It was on my nightstand, it was in my pocket, it was on my desk at home. And I just did everything in the course to attain. I put in the hard work. My ENT said that too when I told them about the course. She said, it's hard work and you want it. And a lot of people don't want to put in the work to get the results. And I knew I needed to do the work. And, here I am, stage 4.
What was it that that helped you resume a healthy sleep pattern?
Just knowing that I was on the course to habituation, that knowing that people habituated, I can do this too. Just knowing that I had the support group around me was helpful. And then gratefully, when I removed the ear and went back to room level sound, and because my husband related it to a relaxing environment to help fall asleep, your mindfulness of tinnitus, listening to that, eventually just listening to my tinnitus without your prompts. It was kind of like my nighttime meditation. But that is what I use to fall asleep, and definitely did not take that long for it to do its magic.
So reassuring yourself with your recovery statement that you were on track to full habituation, that having the support of your husband and your family, and the mindfulness practice
Yes.
as well.
Your mindfulness practices in the ACE course were amazing, very helpful tools. Have it on my computer, have it on my phone in case I ever need it. Yes, definitely.
Great, great. And how are you doing now with your tinnitus? What stage are you in?
I'm doing great. I'm in stage 4, definitely. There's some slide backs here and there, just like in your course, and you kind of have that little rocky road to recovery. But when there is a little slide back, there's no emotional reaction to it. For the most part, I live in harmony with it. It doesn't get that emotional trigger from me anymore. Especially if I'm out with people or occupied or even just going outside, enjoying nature. If I ever kind of have that slide back, and it just kind of resets my mind frame again. But definitely stage 4.
Congratulations.
Thank
So you
you.
started feeling better right away in
Oh, yeah.
taking the course, but to achieve a high level full habituation, stage 4, it took
Yeah.
about 18 months.
It did. Stage 3 was definitely the longest, and I think that's what caused the frustration. But you go over that in the course as well. That there's just that little bump you got to get over to get from stage 3 to
Yeah.
4. And stage 3, I kind of was like, great, if this is as far as I get, I'm good. And then when I started having longer periods of time, hours, sometimes days would go by that I wouldn't even notice it. I would forget it was there, forget I had it. Most of the time it would be like, unwinding at night, going to bed, it being quiet, and then be like, there it is, but it's okay. And, no trouble sleeping anymore, any of that at all. So,
Wow. So you went from tortured and in crisis to having whole days where you don't even notice your tinnitus,
exactly.
as if it's
Yes.
not even there.
Yes.
And if we don't notice it and it seems like it's not even there, it might as well not be there. This is a
Exactly.
cure
Thanks
for
to you.
tinnitus at the very
Yes.
highest levels, a cure for tinnitus.
Thank you.
What would you tell others at this point who are currently struggling?
That they can habituate. They can habituate, and it will happen for them. And that the ACE course will help you beyond your expectations. The group coaching calls were also so helpful to me in the beginning, just being with community, with others in the same shared experience. My family was very supporting, very helpful, don't get me wrong, but they weren't experiencing it. So to hear other people's stories, their coping mechanism, to know that I wasn't alone was so helpful. And the group sessions are just an amazing addition to the course material.
Well, thank you, Stacy. I know this is going to be very inspiring and instill a lot of hope in others.
I hope so. That's my purpose. Thank
Thank,
you for all
thank
you've
you.
done for me.
Pure pleasure for me to have helped. And thank you again, and Godspeed in living a wonderful life.
Thank you, Dr. Hubbard.
If you found this video helpful, please hit the like button and subscribe to our channel. We've got lots more videos like this to help you free yourself from tinnitus and get fully back into your life.